everyone, welcome to Wingcat Sports. It's our Lions versus Chargers
Yay!
post game.
7-2.
A very, very close game. I didn't get to watch the first quarter because I was asleep. But the Lions ended up winning 41-38. It was just back and forth the whole entire game. From the moment I turned it on, it seemed like that. They couldn't stop Keenan Allen to do anything. But overall, not that bad of a game by Jared Goff. 23 for 33 for 333 yards and 2 TDs.
Awesome.
Montgomery ran for 116 yards. Gibbs ran for another 77. It was a good game.
A lot of good, a lot of bad.
Offensively,
or
a
more
good game.
good than bad, because in the end, it's a win. It's a game that I thought going into the season that could have been a loss.
Yeah,
and it showed what they were made of. The old Lions would have lost this game, but they pulled out a win on the road in a tough place to play.
Right.
It didn't look like it, and there are some glaring concerns on this team, and we'll get into it. But overall, you got to be happy where we're at.
Yeah.
As I said a few weeks ago, we're talking about the draft now, usually around here.
Right.
But some great. We'll talk about it. Some great stuff on offense with Gibbs and Montgomery, but also you got that Lions defense that needs
Well, it was nice
growing
to see,
concern.
You know, it was nice to see them be able to win a shootout and perfectly execute that. It seems like they knew this is how it was going to end. They showed guts on offense. I mean, that 4th and 2 at the end of the game, Laporta catching that wounded duck. I don't know if it was tipped or not. I mean, everything that shows just you have cojones when you do something like that, because most of us would want to just say, "Oh, just go for that 40 some odd kick," but he knew, and we knew. We were all saying it.
Yes,
you give them back the ball with a minute 40 left, we're dead.
Yeah,
we're not going to win that game on a field goal.
The defense was not going to hold these guys today.
And to do what he did, and he did it perfectly. I mean, just take it down to the last 2 seconds, be in range. We were worried that maybe he should have, tried to get a little closer, but hey, you know what? Give it up to Riley. He did it.
Yes.
Clutch kick, not an easy one, and he put it through. Everything, offensively, everything in this game was an A+. I mean, it was great.
Yeah, St. Brown also had over 100 yards catching today. He had 8 receptions for 156 total yards on the day.
Who is this?
That was St. Brown.
Okay, yeah, he kind of got drowned out by the performance of Gibbs and Montgomery in the first half.
Even I would say Jameson Williams, even though he had 2 good catches today, he had a fantastic block.
Right.
Montgomery
Give him credit for that.
For as much as he has struggled to catch the ball every now and then, he is a fantastic blocker,
and he's not out of out of trouble yet. Kudos to him.
And every time that something good happens to him, he was the one that
enabled Montgomery to score on that.
He made that one great. He made that touchdown, and every time it seems like something good happens for that kid, it's called back. There's a penalty or something like that. I also want to give it up to a guy who rarely sees the field much anymore, Brock Wright. What a hell of a catch at the end.
Heck of a catch.
Man, that was freaking amazing. Guy was sitting there, and what a great play call that was.
And I thought it was over his head at first.
I thought it was Laporta. We were excited for your fantasy team. But we'll move on to the defensive side of things. One bright side I saw it when I was scrolling through Instagram and whatnot. Kirby Joseph's INT. His nice interception. He barely kept his feet in.
Yes.
That looked like a very good interception. That was the bright side of your defense. Your downside of your defense.
Everything else.
Justin Herbert threw for 323 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. But that doesn't come down to the fact that they stopped everybody else. The one guy you did not stop today was Keenan Allen.
He was impossible.
11 receptions for 175 yards. You take him out of the picture, Herbert only threw for about basically another 175. He only threw 175, and they only rushed for 98 yards. If you could have stopped Keenan Allen, that would have been a different game.
And I don't know if you want to blame the defense or that, or just praise Keenan Allen, because he was unstoppable.
Or
he just – and we – I'm not like I said. I this defense is the weak part of our. When it shows up, and it can play, it can show up if you're playing a middle of the road offense.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
If you look, I mean, you can even look. You're talking about how they didn't do fantastic today. You look at that goal line stand. They had 6 straight plays where they didn't even let the guy get in. And you can also look at the fact that there was about 3 pass interference calls that probably shouldn't have been called.
Refs were terrible to me that today. It was bad. And the thing is,
that's a growing problem in the league.
You got to give the Chargers some credit. These guys, they do have a good offense.
Yeah.
I mean, they have weapons. They have a great quarterback. They have some great wide receivers. And, Austin Eckler is not a bad running back. He's a good running back.
Yep.
So, I mean,
he's coming
these
off
things are going to happen. I don't want to like say lose it as far as the defense goes yet. We won the game. I'm happy.
Yes,
they got time, and they got some very beatable teams coming up. So,
but for me, as the season goes on, especially when you're talking playoffs and where you're going to be seated in the NFC, and if you're going to maybe have home field advantage, I don't know, host a playoff game, you have got to put pressure on the quarterback. That front four is not getting any pressure whatsoever on the quarterback. Herbert, I don't even think was even close to being sacked today.
A couple times, but you're right.
Still, you let a guy like that, or anybody, once you get into, even Minnesota, I mean, Dobbs, he ain't no pushover. They're 6-4 now?
Yep. Only game and a half lead on them.
Yeah, you're going to have to be able to put pressure on the quarterback going forward, no matter who you're playing. And I'm not seeing it.
If we are only 2 games up or 1 game up or whatever, come that Minnesota game, we're in trouble.
Could very well be.
I think we got to win at least. We got to beat Minnesota at least once. And I'm starting to think we got to beat Dallas, because really those are the only 2 games left. And if we shouldn't lose to anybody else,
I said, New Orleans is the only one I can see happen.
Garbage. Did you watch them today?
I mean, they did get killed by Minnesota, but it's still
garbage.
You're going into New Orleans. I can see it happen. Should it happen? No, but I can see it happening.
We can't lose to them.
Overall, though, throughout today, the 3rd down efficiency for the Lions wasn't the greatest. They were 4 for 13, but their 4th down efficiency, they were 4 for 5.
Yeah, Dan Campbell scared me a few times.
Well,
I thought when they went for it on 4th and goal, I thought they should have kicked the points, and they went for it and missed it. I thought sure
it worked
that was
going
to come back to haunt us. He got lucky, but. Yeah.
There are times, because like I said, early on in the game, at least we were lucky that our defense, at least in the first quarter, played decently. They held them, and they didn't really get started until the second quarter. But then after that, they were unstoppable. So, but this is good to see. At least we won a shootout. How long has it been since we won a shootout game?
Years.
I mean,
me and you used to sit back and go, yeah, we know what's going to happen now.
Right. Exactly. And we said this whole game, starting the second half, we have to keep scoring. And we did.
This
team kept scoring.
This team,
they never let them get ahead.
This team, you guys, we got a good team. This team is different. This is not a team that's going to lay down and shit the bed like they have done in the past. This is a good team.
You just got the fire Aaron Glenn train whenever the defense looks bad.
I'm not on that. I mean,
fire Aaron Glenn.
I think the defense, I think personnel-wise, it's a 2-pronged thing. It's hard to scheme. I mean, we are going to have a very hard time beating any of the elite teams. Unfortunately, there's only 2 elite teams in the NFC. So we may only have to face one of them if we play in the playoffs.
Yeah.
San Francisco and Philly.
Yeah, pretty much. And San Francisco.
And I ain't worried about San Francisco because Brock Purdy has been shitting
We'll see how they are.
Yeah.
He only had one good week this week.
We'll cross that Rubicon when we get it. So,
but it's a great day to be a Lions fan. It's a great time to be a Lions fan. I haven't been this happy in years, guys.
It's been fun.
And we just got to take it a game at a time, no matter who we're playing.
It is going to be a fun rest of the year. It's probably going to be stressful.
Harold here didn't live through the hard
when-
times.
I don't know
I
if
watched
it's going to
them
be
while you
it's
guys
not
swear
gonna
at
be-
TV.
I mean, I'll be pretty disappointed if they lose any of their next 3 or 4 games. They should
which
not.
they shouldn't. They got Bears, Packers, Saints, Bears.
God, if they lose
the
to,
only-
like,
the
anyone
only
in
ga-
our division, oh my God.
The only game
Well,
again,
Minnesota. Yeah, that's it.
the only game I could see, like again, you losing just because of where it's at is the Saints. I could just see it happening. Is it going to probably happen? No. You should beat them, but I could see them losing to the Saints.
We should destroy them.
Before you
If
go
we
in,
are healthy, we should destroy the Saints. We should destroy the next 4
It's all-
teams.
you have a
that we
longer
face.
you have a longer week. So when you
Does
go,
that include Dallas?
No,
we
we are
ha-
playing Chicago twice,
The-
Green Bay, and the Saints. We should
Yeah.
destroy them.
the bright side for the Saints is that you have a
14-3.
longer week
and
because you
Denver,
play
right?
Thursday. Denver's the game
Oh,
after the
God.
second Bears game.
Talk about
So we're talking the next 5 games. Where we at? We're at 7-2 right now. We should be at 12-2
I said
by the
14-3
time we face
this year.
the
I said
Minnesota Vikings.
14-3.
We should be 12-2. We should not lose a game until we face the
You
Vikings,
might-
and then that is a legit challenge.
We'll see how Chicago goes since that is our only outdoor game the rest of the year. But that's about
Hopefully we'll get
that's the only
lucky
thing we
and
gotta
it won't
worry
be
about.
freezing cold.
Right.
It's probably going to be freezing cold. It's already getting cold. But it will be an interesting rest of the year, especially with the Vikings playing well, like I thought they would end up playing the rest of the year with their schedule.
Let's be happy for a win.
We do play.
7-2.
That's right. We play Denver in Denver, right?
7-2.
No, we play Denver at home.
Oh well, then freak that. We should murder them. God,
You can say fuck.
that shouldn't even be a game.
Yep.
you
7-2. It's a good
you-
way. It's a good time to be alive.
You should win the next 5. You should.
We should.
I could see you dropping 1, but you should win the next 5. But with that being said, right, we'll
Yeah.
get more into a pregame for the Bears later on this week. With that being
Yes.
said, though, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments. And until next time,
Go
hope to see
Lions.
everybody soon.